Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment, to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need, with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
The following is an All-Star 15 TV production.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to All-Star 15 TV. On the broadcast tonight, it is the Sim500 TranService Truck Series, round of 8, race number 2. We are live, high atop, right above the start-finish line cactus. In the booth with me, it is the one and only Mike Campigio.
AJ, glad to be back out here in the desert under the lights. Get out of that heat, because you know what I'm talking about. It was like 120 something degrees earlier today, so I'm glad this race is under the lights and we're in an air conditioned booth, AJ.
Dude, it's been hot everywhere. Talking to the people where I'm from up in Connecticut, the last 4 days it's been about 105, 110 with that humidity. It's been gross. But yeah, sun went down, humidity went down. And we're sitting at a track temp at 76 with an outside temperature of 76. With that, Mike, why don't we send it over to the tail of the tape and I'll let you knock that out.
All right, let's do it. Let's go back to last year, 2023. We ran 140 laps and had 6 leaders and 13 lead changes on the night. 3 cautions for 11 laps. The pole was won by Brian Macklin, who led the most laps in that race at 82. Winner, though, was Justin Fuller, who led 33 laps and started in 7th. 2022, that was actually the season finale race for them. 156 laps was the total distance, 4 leaders, 5 lead changes, 14 cautions for 55 laps. The pole was won by Hamish Gallagher, who led 20 laps and finished in 5th. Winner was Justin Fuller, who led 127 laps, which was the most in that race, and started in 6th. 2021, they ran 120 laps. They had 3 leaders for 2 lead changes, 2 cautions for 8 laps. The pole was won by Daniel Falkingham, who also led the most laps in that race at 89. But the winner was Scott Simley, who led that magic final lap. Only 1 lap led the entire race and started in 12th. And finally, 2020, they ran 160 laps here. 5 leaders for 8 lead changes, 10 cautions for 36 laps. The pole was won by Ryan Howard, but Ryan did not lead a single lap in that race and finished 11th. Most laps led in that race was Daniel Falkingham with 89. He started 2nd, but he finished 15th. But the winner was Jose Gonzalez, who led 15 laps and started in 4th.
All right. Well, that is the tail of the tape brought to you by the Wrestling with Nerds podcast. Qualifying has just started. Now let's see. We have some action on the racetrack. 18 Ford F-150 of Sean Macklin down the back straightaway into turn 3. See, is he going to cut the dog leg during qualifying? It's a big point of emphasis when it comes to Phoenix Raceway, is that dog leg, especially on restarts.
Oh, yes, AJ. Especially on restarts indeed with that dog leg. You're going to see these guys fan out 3, 4, sometimes even 5 wide. But the problem is getting down into turn 1. If you're 4 or 5 wide, sometimes that doesn't work out in your favor.
No, it does not. Sean Macklin after his first lap. There he goes. Gonna cut the dog leg there.
Ooh, he got awfully close to the pit wall. A lot of these guys, that pit wall, I know it sits right there, but I mean, if you're not on the game 100%, that pit wall can come up and you can get a little side stripe on your side of your truck.
Glenn Campbell goes P1 after his first lap. Deshaun Macklin improve. Yes, he does. A 26.66. Wesley Donaldson, will he improve? He will. He'll go P2. Oh, P3, Tyler Dalton. A 26.58.
That was a lap.
Glenn Campbell, can he back that up? We cannot. Just a little bit slower. Drop to the 22 of Nelson Era.
Tommy Ryan jumped in the 4th.
Who else we got? Justin Fuller, current points leader in this final round of the season. It's all for the marbles. Next week we go to Iowa for the second to last race. First lap, throwaway lap, a 27.69.
He's going to have to really haul the mail going in 3 and 4.
I'm not worried. We're at least going to see a top 5 truck out of Fuller here. To the line, P2, 26.60.
And Alan Wild is out here on the track too, along with Brian Macklin.
Brian Macklin's first lap is going to be good for 14th. Really throwing away these first laps, getting heat in those tires. Yeah, really good out of turn 2. See how close to the inside wall he gets. Enough to scare me. Through 3 and 4, back to the line, a little loose. See, Brian Macklin goes P5, 26.69.
Alan Wild got his first lap down. Now he's on his second lap. See if he can improve here. Let's see what he can do here.
Wild is going to stay right there, 14th best. Scott Simley, Brian Wortman, and 2 drivers do not take time. So we have just about a minute left in qualifying. Mike, you want to go over our picks?
Yeah, before that, did you want to hit the race analysis for tonight or the hotspots?
Sure, go for it.
All right, so we're going to be running 150 laps, 150 miles tonight. 3 sets of tires in the pits. Fuel window 80 to 85 laps. 2 green, white checkered attempts. And the hot spots, like we mentioned, we talked about restarts on the dog leg already. That's something to keep an eye on, viewers at home. Typically a high caution race. When these guys must have great fire off speed when it comes to that. Track position, last 4 winners all started inside the top 12. And like Phoenix is a very, track position type of race. But picks, who'd you pick tonight, AJ?
I took the driver, the number 19, Tyler Dalton, currently sitting on the pole.
And I will give that because I will not give you a little bit of a jab there because you did pick him before he qualified. So
we always pick before qualifying.
And I'm going to go with Brian Macklin tonight, and that's who I picked.
And he is sitting in that 5th position. But back to the hot spots. It very much is typically a high caution race. I think last year was, for the most part, kind of an anomaly. Look at 22, 14 for 55. That means there are 15 starts. There's 14 restarts and the start of the race. You need to fire off and keep that track position. Last year we only had 3, and in 21 we only had 2. But back in 20 we had 10. So it depends on what kind of race we get tonight to see what kind of strategy we're going to have. But the warm-up is underway. 15 seconds left. We will be right back with a quick word from our sponsor.
From Mortar to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
And I want to thank all our sponsors in the bottom right-hand corner, as you'll see them run through the reel. Also, check their links out in the description. Let's get you that starting lineup from Phoenix Raceway. Race number 2 of the round of 8, the final round in the Sim500 TranService Truck Series. All right. Starting on pole, Tyler Dalton. In second, we have Justin Fuller. Sean Macklin and Wesley Donaldson, row 2. Row 3, Brian Macklin, Tommy Ryan. Row 4, Seth Faudy and Chad Coleman. Rounding out the top 10 in row 5, Jose Gonzalez and Glenn Campbell.
All right. In 11th, we got Nelson Rivera. In 12th, we have Byron Daly. In 13th is Bobby Wetzel. 14th, Alan Wild. 15th is Jeff Ryan. And 16th is Scott Simley. And rounding out the grid tonight in 17th is Brian Wortman.
All right, well, we are just about to go racing. Base car is coming in this time by. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow if you have to stay up to date with all things All-Star 15 TV, Sim500, and much more down the pipeline. Glad to have you all here. Come chat with us. Who you rooting for? 150 laps, 150 miles. We are just about to go. Green, there it is.
And they're going to fan out, AJ. Here we go. 3 and 4 wide heading into turn 1. Looks like Justin Fuller is going to lead lap number 1 as they cross the line here.
Big key for Justin Fuller. Yeah, we have contact!
Oh, trouble! Oh, Tyler Dawn.
Hard in the wall.
Keep it up there. Oh.
Contact between him and Sean Macklin early in this race.
Contact between 2 playoff drivers, too. Let's take a look here. It looks like they were going to the same piece of asphalt to me, AJ.
Absolutely. On lap 2, that 19 is heavy damage on that right rear.
Yeah, that thing is scraped up and used up already. Lucky you didn't fully spin out, too.
Absolutely. We stay green, but I can tell you that 19 is not happy. When we bring up the points, he's already -8 to Justin Fuller. At the end of this round, it's the end of the season. Brian Macklin -9, Nelson Rivera -12, Byron Daly -13, and Chad Coleman -15. Right now, Justin Fuller's doing everything he needs to hold on to that P1 position.
Single file, the first row side by side is back here with Seth Foudy and Byron Daly. Everybody's kind of getting into a rhythm, getting the tires underneath them, and seeing what their truck has. I don't know. To me, AJ, it seems like the draft is playing a little bit of a factor on the front straightaway and back straightaway, because these guys are, I mean, they're single file, but they're pretty tight together here.
Yeah, very much so. And as you can tell with the 91 get by the 18, that it's you need that person to leave you a little bit of a hole, make a mistake, or you're just gonna have to go for it entering one of these turns, as we're really all single file as Fuller is showing the way.
Not too many guys making the outside line work just yet. Everybody seems to be running mostly the bottom line here. Glenn Campbell's trying a little bit of this outside line because he's side by side with Jose Gonzalez. And these guys are cutting the dog leg still. And you can cut the dog leg for as long as you can't want to, but after a while, I feel like some of these guys on how low these trucks ride, those valences and sky skirts, or splitters I should say, could get used up.
Yeah, we got a pass brewing. Oh, almost 3 wide. The 11 of Steph Faudy trying to get underneath Jose Gonzalez. The 26, he's going to cut the dog leg. Try to get that to work, and he's actually going to lose time cutting the dog leg.
Oh, here we go. Battle for the lead. Donaldson's looking for it on Fuller.
As they go into turn 3, out of turn 4 to the line. And Fuller will lead that lap. Donaldson's going to cut the dog leg. And I don't know if there's really a benefit to cutting the dog leg anymore, Mike.
It's very, as he gets the pass done here, see Fuller will cross under him, he will stay in line. It's very hit or miss nowadays with the dog leg cutting, in my opinion, on iRacing. Especially as once you get the tires up to temperature and they start wearing, it's not the most ideal thing to do with your car or truck.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like he still made the pass, but I feel like that was more of the entry and center of turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, he really made a good amount of time in 1 and 2.
As he's trying to set sail. 3/10 over Fuller. Then you have Sean Macklin in 3rd. Tommy Ryan in 4th. In 5th, Brian Macklin. Chad Coleman in 6th. 7th, Glenn Campbell. Jose Gonzalez at 8th. 9th, you have Bobby Wetzel. And Byron Daly rounding out that top 10.
Well, the only 2 guys that did the dog leg cutting that time was Seth Foudy and Alan Wild. Everybody else has been now up racing on the racetrack, per se.
We are all single file. Trying to log some laps here. We've backed up these lap times from qualifying almost about a second. Trying to get these tires and fuel to at least make it to halfway if we don't get a caution. As you mentioned in our pre-race, they can go from anywhere from 80 to 85, and if you're really good at saving, possibly closer to 90. But you really got to be careful protecting those tires. We're going to jump on board with Tommy Ryan.
We'll see Tommy here, see how his truck's feeling here as we're 14 laps into our run. It's looking pretty smooth there through 3 and 4. Not too much cutting on the wheel at all.
No, very, very nice and easy. Not having to turn 2. Oh, well, a little having to turn right.
Little moment off of 2 there. And which off of 2 is pretty common to have a little bit of a loose type of moment like that. It's going to be interesting, though, if we get, let's say we get 40 to 45 or 50 laps into this run, how these guys are really going to be fighting these trucks around here.
Macklin trying to use that outside to get a run. See if he's got one down the backstretch.
Yeah, he definitely does. He cut it right underneath of Tommy. He's looking to the inside here into 3.
And he will go to 4th.
He's going to slide up a little bit, try to force Tommy wide here. But Tommy's got a good run off the corner. And now Brian's going to get back behind him. That was a good battle right there.
Yeah, I think the later we get in this race, it'll be a lot less giving. But right now, everybody is. We're going to take the big blimp cam Everybody, for the most part, nose to tail, except Justin Fuller. He's trying that outside. He's looking for a big run down the back straightaway. He's going to get to the door, to the bumper, and clear Wesley Donaldson.
Now it looks like that outside line in 1 and 2 is now, or at least upper groove, I should say, starting to get some grip up there, and these guys are starting to make moves.
You almost called it 3 and 4.
I almost did. This was a couple years ago. That would be 3 and 4
Yeah, I don't know why they changed it. I really don't.
for the dogleg effect.
Yeah,
More exciting restarts. Yeah, now these guys are really starting to drift up the track. Macklin's way up there now. 1 and 2. Starting to see the back half of the top 10 kind of get spread up more apart from these front 6 guys here.
Just look at the runs these guys are getting through 1 and 2 on that high side. I really thought Macklin was going to be able to pass Ryan there, as everybody's moving up there now. Donaldson's trying to hold his position being up that high.
Well, once they see one of those guys make that move like that, the rest of them are going to try it themselves.
Ryan now to the inside, trying to get past Tommy Ryan. Has the position, going to cut the dog leg to try to complete the pass.
He's going to slide up and clear. Now here comes Tommy.
Tommy's going to have him on the crossover. No, I think that 30's got too much of exit speed.
He did. I think Tommy got a little bit of loose underneath him there when he tried cutting underneath him.
A little bit further on in the back, Byron Daly all over the place coming into one. He's underneath Bobby Wetzel, has Seth Faudy right behind him.
And as you're watching that, Sean Mecklin's looking to the inside for second here in the 3.
I think we're really going to start seeing drivers start pushing to that outside, not to just make passes, to hold on to their positions as well.
And Donaldson's now he's starting to use that third line now in the middle 1 and 2, but Macklin's able to get the second away from him.
Really start to see tire wear affect a lot of these drivers. Further back in the pack, Seth Faudy, Byron Daly, they're now battling.
Seems like Byron's truck is a little bit struggling so far early on here.
Yeah, I think we're starting to get to that transition point with these tires.
Yeah.
Oh, Wetzel loose out of 2. Oh, just barely kissed the wall.
These boys are starting to slip and slide now.
For the most part, Mike, they're not driving away.
No, they're not.
From Fuller all the way to Daly in 10th, it's only just about 3.5 seconds.
Oh, Tommy had to stay off the back bumper of Macklin there in the 3 and 4. I thought they were gonna touch bumpers right there. I think he didn't expect Macklin to check up that much.
As Tommy's gonna go almost to the wall. A Larson line around Phoenix. Good work. Definitely gets all
That was a Larson Reddick line, if you ask me.
Brian.
It was a Larson Reddick line, if you ask me.
But up front, just about 30 laps into tonight's race, it is all Justin Fuller and Sean Macklin, Wesley Donaldson, Brian Macklin, and Tommy Ryan rounding out your top 5. Coleman, Campbell, Gonzalez, Daly, and Faudy rounding out the top 10. We will be right back, but you won't miss a thing going side by side.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment, to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need, with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
From Mortar to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
We're back, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Hitting that like button, subscribing, and following helps out the channel greatly. Check out all our channel sponsors in the description of this video. Oh, Sean Macklin hard into the turn 2 wall.
Got a little bit more than he could chew right there off of turn 2.
Macklin sit 2-3, but it is all Justin Fuller. 36 laps into tonight's race. We're going to 150. Mike, I know you're going to have a lot of racing this weekend, but
Yeah.
yeah, talk about NASCAR going to the big oval.
Yes, we are going to the big oval this weekend. Me personally and a few guys on the team that you and I, mutual friends that we know, we're all going to do NASCAR weekend. You got the Xfinity on Saturday, Cup on Sunday, the return of the Brickyard 400 on the oval, which I'm excited for. And then Friday night, they got the Truck Series over at IRP. And then also, Formula One is racing. Where are they racing this? The Hungarian Grand Prix? I think it's this weekend.
I think so, yes.
And then IndyCar is in Toronto, but that's only a Peacock-only race, too. So, it's a big weekend of motorsports. All three big major series are racing. I'm looking forward to it. The weather's supposed to be really nice for Indianapolis and everything, so...
Very much unlike the Indy
500? Yeah,
which
right.
It ended up being nice.
It did, but we all suffered through the 5-hour rain delay.
Yeah, while you're doing all that, I get to go be a nerd at up in Hartford for Kineticon. Can't wait to possibly have drinks with Duke Nukem again.
Anybody else going to that up there that's noteworthy?
the Bluey actors, a couple of My Hero Academia voice actors. For any wrestling fans out there, which I know there's a couple that watch, we will have Cosplay Championship Wrestling returning.
Ooh, there
that's
you go.
always fun. Waluigi was their champion at the end of Kineticon last year. Defeat 2099 Spider-Man for it.
There you go. Should be a good weekend all around for you and me, and hopefully everybody watching this video too will have a great weekend too.
Also, we're hoping everybody's staying safe with all those storms that have been out there. I know you had somewhat of a tornado. I have a hell of a thunderstorm going on outside right now. So, if everything just goes black, I apologize. It means I lost power.
And it's been a very hectic week for storms around the United States, so hopefully everybody that's in the path of any of these storms took their precautions and stayed safe. And if you're in, like AJ, and in the path of ones tonight, stay safe.
So for the last 20 laps, it's been Byron Daly and Seth Faudy just trading this position, this 9th position, back and forth between the two of them.
And that's gonna be fun too, especially racing around somebody that you trust and stuff. That's the good stuff when you can race with somebody clean and respectful and just trade back and forth. But then after that, maybe depending on how you feel about your truck, you may get a little frustrated with that too.
Why can't I pass them?
Yeah.
Which, as we were in that side-by-side, we saw Sean Macklin make a heck of a run to almost contend for the lead, get side-by-side, and Fuller just moved his lineup just a tad, gets a nice run, and we haven't seen Sean Macklin get close again.
Well, he's now all of a sudden closer to the back bumper of Fuller again. Right after you said that,
It seems to always happen that way.
Well, you're thinking about it. What are we 44 laps into this run? We're getting to that point of the run now. It's like if you saved early on, you're gonna be feeling real good on those Goodyear tires. But if you did not save, do you come in early?
Praying for a yellow. And I think we're gonna see two strategies. Some drivers splitting the race completely, and then some drivers breaking it up into sets of 3. A 3-stop race.
Yep. It's gonna be interesting though.
Yeah, I feel like the 2-stop is the way to go. But right now, they're just falling off. The fastest lap of the race is a 27:21, a 27:18 by Tommy Ryan. They're running just about a 28:20 right now. They're about a second off. And we're 47 laps in. Bobby Wetzel did come and hit road at lap 41, and he just put the fastest lap on the board of 27:15, riding all by himself. Could that be a big move for the 9 Silverado? He pit when he was in that 13th position. He's sitting 17th. Let's see when everybody starts to pit if that evens out.
Well, where he was sitting, and since he's out of the playoffs and just going for a win, props to him to try that,
Yeah, why not? You got nothing to lose.
All that matters is a win. I heard that song enough back when that was popular. Holy cow.
I was watching the Cup race at Pocono when Ryan Blaney won. They were just the big parts of a lot of songs, and that was one of them. And I was like, hey, this is for my generation. I can't believe I just said my generation. Crack, there goes my back. third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, all under a blanket, being led by Brian Macklin. Sean Macklin is getting ever so closer to the 51 of Fuller. He's going to look for a heck of a run down the backstretch. We're going to jump on board.
Here we go. We're pitting. Brian Macklin's pitting. So lap 50 on the board.
Yeah, that's splitting it into threes. So 50, 100, and, well, 2 pit stop, but 3 segments.
See if anybody else is going to fall in on that strategy, too.
Look at him use and abuse the pit stalls. I think there's no trucks there. Scott Simley on pit road.
Got the throwback paint scheme.
Oh, wow. Looks like an F1 scheme in a way.
Looks like the old Team Marlboro paint scheme that Penske used to run.
See how much faster Brian Macklin is compared to everybody else. Last time by, the leader, Justin Fuller, a 28-29. Oh, we're gonna have to wait a little while.
Yeah, get him another lap in. See how he feels this time around.
Definitely looks a lot faster. Alright, Fuller, a 28-32 to Brian Macklin's 27-11. Just over a second faster is what new tires will do for you.
I'm just hearing something pretty interesting here, AJ. I think Byron Daly is starting to shift in the corners because he is. I'm hearing the motor really shift, and that the motor itself really shift RPM. Yep. I think he's like the first one of these guys tonight that have been doing that.
In fourth, the third, gets the torque down. Back up to fourth. Down the back straightaway. Third. And back up to fourth. Wow.
I've heard of next gen shifting here, but that's pretty crazy to see the trucks shifting. But hey, that's shit. Well, shifting nowadays in NASCAR is very, very more common than it used to be. So, you know.
Absolutely, that was a great pickup, Mike.
Just something my keen eyes were and keen hearing was taking place.
Tommy Ryan all over the back bumper of Donaldson, out of 4, heading back towards that line. Looks like Fuller is starting to pull away from Sean Macklin now. That gap has grown to almost a second. If I was at 18, I'd be thinking about coming down pit road very, very shortly with how much ground he's losing.
Seth Foudy all over the bumper. Daly here into 3. He's going to stay behind him. Now he's going to whip out to the outside. Trying to get a run here. He's going to cut the dog leg. Those guys are now all the way against the wall going into 1. I think that 3 and 4 hurt him right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Right behind him here, Nelson Rivera. He's looking to move up a spot. So far, only 3 drivers have taken the 2-stop strategy. Brian Macklin, Scott Simley, and Bobby Wetzel. As I say that, here's 4. It's Jeff Ryan.
Jeff Ryan got the Dale Earnhardt Sr. throwback tonight. Good looking truck. You know what they say, AJ?
What's that?
Do it for Dale.
Brian Macklin just passed Sean Macklin. Just the next car in front of Brian is the leader, and he'll put himself back on the lead lap.
Yeah, he's picking up and putting them down through traffic here. Those 4 tires now are really showing their advantages.
And Fuller's going to stay to the outside and let the 30 right on by.
We're closing in almost on halfway here, AJ.
Yeah, already. I very shocked on how fast this race has been going. But for the most of it, it's been all single file. We're really starting to get spread apart now as we pull up the track map and you can see how spread apart everybody is. Most of them, they are on that back straightaway, heading towards turn 3. Very clean, only one incident, and that happened on lap 2. Sean Macklin gets into the 19 of Tyler Dalton, sends the 19 hard into the outside wall, but we stayed green. That's relegated that 19 back to that 12th position.
And he hasn't really had a chance to recover, or he hasn't even had a chance to really work on that damage on the right rear corner panel for that truck.
He'll have to pit soon too, just like everybody else. As Coleman looking to the inside of Tommy Ryan. Oh, Ryan's almost in the wall in 1 and 2. Ooh, what? A little squirrely too.
Yeah, these boys are ill handling trucks right now, and got to really manhandle these things in the corners.
70, almost 70 lap old tires. No, thank you. I honestly think I would have taken the 2-stop strategy just so I'd have fresher tires, but there's not a lot of fall off, Mike. At all.
No. I think it just comes down to preference, or as one of our friends would say, what are you going to do different? Because if you don't do anything different, you're just going to follow the leader.
Absolutely. And by me saying there's not a lot of fall off, Fuller's 27.32 is his best. Right now, he's only at 28.30. So he's still sitting just about a second off.
Which is not too awfully crazy to think about it.
Looking at Jose Gonzalez all over the back bumper of Glenn Campbell. That's for 6th. Closest battle we have on the racetrack. I'll look into that inside. The 44 is going to get a really nice run off of 2, heading down to 3. But our leader, Justin Fuller, just over a second over Sean Macklin. And you have 2.5 over Wesley Donaldson, Tommy Ryan sitting 3.5 back from Fuller, and rounding out that top 5, 4 seconds back. In 5th, you have Chad Coleman. Fuller has just set sail. We're on board with him here.
He looks like he is. Has a pretty wheel going tonight. Everything's gone his way so far.
Nope, he's not shifting either, but he is very ginger on the gas now. As you saw that he put the power down, the truck immediately wanted the hook right. See Brian Wortman right in front of him.
Byron Daly's coming to pit road here, lap 73, sideways. Oh my goodness, what a save. I mean, he was on the brakes and everything.
Here it is. Oh, he might have been speed. Oh, no, there are the cones. Okay.
We'll see if you got a speeding penalty from that or not.
And that is just under halfway. Him coming down pit road.
Justin Fuller, as he crosses the line this time, we will be halfway home in the race. We got a multiple amount of drivers coming to pit road now, AJ.
Literally at halfway. Sean Macklin, Wesley Donaldson, Tommy Ryan, Chad Coleman, Jose Gonzalez, Seth Foddy, Tyler Dalton, and Brian Wortman all down at pit road.
Tyler Dalton seemed like he's going super slow to you on pit road there.
Yes, he is. I think he's, for the most part, trying to let all the stronger cars by. I don't know what happens to Tyler.
Something's. Oh, is he out of gas?
Oh, maybe.
That was really weird looking.
Absolutely was really weird. Fuller stays out, has a 6.5 second lead over Nelson Rivera. And here comes Justin Fuller.
Oh, trouble, AJ. Tommy Ryan around into the outside wall. Caution's out, and that is not... Oh, Justin Fuller on pit road when the caution comes out.
Knows he's going to get clipped by the 9 of Bobby Wetzel, and around he goes for the first caution tonight. What is that going to do for Justin Fuller?
He was shaking that truck around... He was shaking that truck around like he was out of gas, too.
There he goes, Fuller. It's showing him in that 4th position, but I think since he was on pit road, he should stay there, right?
Should be, but we're going to have to see what iRacing Control is going to think about that.
There's a lot of damage on that right side of the 19. Look at that. Ryan Macklin's back on pit road. Alan Wild, Scott Simley, Byron Daly, Bobby Wetzel, Tom Ryan, and Jeff Ryan. So it looks like Fuller's going to hold on to the lead here.
He might have gotten lucky.
That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. But everybody, we are under our first caution of the evening on lap 79. We will be right back after a word from our sponsor. I lied. Our sponsor poll isn't working, so we're going to stay right here. The network said they weren't ready.
Some of these guys are saving some fuel here under yellow. A lot of these guys coasting here. Shutting the engines off.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis.
Alright, sorry about all the confusion with the network stuff. They're telling us one thing in the ear, and we were still on the air. So let's try that again. We'll be right back, everybody.
Across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store. And many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you
Mortar
get the
to
truck. But a
Hogwarts to
full-service
Gotham,
lease includes all the
the
maintenance and other
nerds have
services
come
at a set
together
cost.
to create a show
Regardless of the
for
scope or range
nerds
of your fleet
by
needs,
nerds.
TranService will engineer a
Join
fully
nerds
customized,
doing nerd
full-service
things
fleet
as they
leasing
talk about
solution
all things
optimized to your
nerdy.
requirements.
Stay up to date on
From
the show
asset
by
acquisition
liking the
requiring
Nerds
no
Doing
capital
Nerd
investment,
Things
to the
Facebook
engineering,
page.
configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need, with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
And we're back, everybody. Today's car is off. Fuller, Macklin, Donaldson, Gonzalez, Coleman. Everybody but Dalton and Campbell on the lead lap.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag in the air, and we are green once again. Great launch by the 51 on Justin Fuller.
Four wide behind him.
Donaldson's gonna try and hold on to that P2, but Macklin strong on that outside. 3 wide behind him.
These guys are cutting the leg, dog leg again, fanning out.
Ooh, the 26 Gonzalez backs out of that. Didn't want to put it 3 wide again.
But everybody knows you got to get what you can get here. Fresh tires, first restart of the day. Because you know if we get into a long green flag run, it's going to be hard to pay us.
It was hard to pass to start the race as well.
Oh, Wesley Donaldson smacked the wall off of 4. And Chad Coleman giving Macklin a little bit of a bump draft going into 3.
Absolutely. That could easily send somebody up the racetrack.
And Donaldson got the wall again. That's the second lap in a row. He's scraped that outside wall off of 4. Sean Macklin looking to the outside of Fuller for the lead.
I don't think he's going to have the run there yet, but he's trying to move that line up.
He knows he's got to get Fuller as soon as possible. This is as close as he's been in a long time.
Absolutely, he is there, looking to force Fuller into a mistake, looking to try to make the pass in 3.
He is all over the bumper, him. He's looking in the inside here in a 3. Oh, he's going to send it, AJ.
Oh, he definitely sent it. Fuller's fighting back on the outside. They're crossing the start-finish line. Fuller leads that lap.
Now, that dogleg move was not ideal right there. Oh, they're going to swap right there.
For another run by the 18.
He's going to look again. He's going to go send it. Here we go.
They are even out of 4.
If I'm him, I don't use the dogleg this time, but he's going to use it anyway.
I think the transition is what's messing him up the most. As
Fuller!
Almost in the wall in 1.
Well, you know Fuller's running harder than he wants to, probably right about now.
We are well past halfway, coming to lap 90 shortly. Closest battle we have on the racetrack. Let's say that battle for P3 is heating up as well. Macklin, Donaldson entering turn 3.
There goes Jose Gonzalez looking in the inside of Chad Coleman behind those guys. But Chad's going to hold him off for now. There goes Macklin. He's going for 3rd.
Yeah, he's aiming for it. This is almost identical from the Sean Macklin Fuller battle from a couple laps ago. But it looks like Brian might actually make the pass here, entering turn 1. There he goes. Clears him.
That was a very interesting line that he took going into 1 that time.
Yeah, you see Brian Macklin right there, loose out of 2. But Donaldson has a bigger issue with Coleman right up to the back bumper.
Donaldson scraped the wall going into 1 that time. Coleman up the racetrack.
It hurt him.
No, I think he's using this scraping the wall to benefit him.
Reminds me of one of the NASCAR heat games. Smack the wall, you'll go faster. I wish I was joking.
Ask Ross Chastain about that. That's what I say. Ask Ross Chastain about that.
But Fuller right now starting to pull away once again. That lead is up to 0.6. Gonzalez trying to get by Coleman.
Now Nelson Rivera is getting up here now with these boys. Good run for Nelson tonight so far.
Yeah, our biggest mover of the race right now, driver the number 12, Toyota Tundra. It's Scott Simley sitting in 9th. He's up 7 positions. Tyler Dalton and Glenn Campbell are the only 2 drivers laps down here tonight. Once again, thank you everybody for tuning in to All-Star 15 TV. Glad to have you here. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, subscribe, follow to stay up to date with all All-Star 15 TV. So let's check out our wonderful sponsors down in that right-hand corner of the screen and in the description of the video. First off, it's the Nerds Who Nerd Things podcast. New episodes out every Thursday, except tomorrow, because tomorrow's travel day for Connecticut up in Hartford, Connecticut. If you're in the area or going to it, Come say hi to us. The Wrestling with Nerds podcast. New episodes every Sunday night. Last Sunday they talked about 1997's April WWF versus WCW. Myself and TJ are battling back and forth to see who has the better show that year. And then Falcon Grafix. Save $5 off your first vehicle wrap when you mention code ALLSTAR15TV, AS15TV. We'll save $5 off your first vehicle wrap here on iRacing. Mike, it has been an absolute crazy race. Some drivers running the outside, some staying very religious to that inside lane. We've seen some carnage between Donaldson and Ryan, but for the most part, it's been relatively calm. But boy, have the battles been crazy.
They have been, AJs. We're sitting here at lap number 100 on the board, 50 laps to go. These boys are racing hard, racing aggressively, racing strategically. It's been putting on a pretty good show tonight.
John Macklin is trying to wheel Fuller back in. That gap is down to 4/10. Brian is sitting right behind the 18 as well.
I think that's going to be the story to watch, as we've seen how this night's played off so far, is who can beat Justin Fuller. Who can pass Justin Fuller? That's another thing.
But, ladies and gentlemen, the storm has finally got to me. I just jumped out of my chair, basically, with that clap of thunder. So I apologize if you guys heard me almost fall on the ground.
Well, hopefully the power stays on.
I very much hope so. I don't like being in darkness. Not my friend. Going back to that 7th position, Nelson Rivera trying to make moves, move up the leaderboard. Got Gonzalez, Coleman, and Donaldson all in a row. So let's bring up those points one more time. Fuller, currently your race leader, +5 over Wesley Donaldson, who is sitting in that 4th position. Don Macklin, who's -8, is sitting in 2nd. Tyler Dalton, who is -8, he's sitting in 16th, 1 lap down. Brian Macklin, who is -9, he's sitting in 3rd. Nelson Rivera, -12, he's sitting in 7th. Byron Daly, -13, he's sitting in 8th. And then Chad Coleman, -15, is sitting in that 5th position. So a lot of parity with these playoff drivers, but the one that has been very dominant tonight is that Justin Fuller 51 units moving and portable storage. He has basically led every lap, but maybe I'll say 5. I'll give the field 5 laps.
Well, and Justin's looking for 2 wins in a row to kick off this final round of the playoffs too.
Yeah, why don't we preview next week, as we are under 50 laps to go. We're going to Iowa Speedway, Mike. Early on in the season, that was a very, very fun racetrack for us.
It was, actually. I was not there for that race earlier this year, so I'm looking forward to getting back in the booth as we're on the second to last race of the season. But when I did see what happened during that race and watched the broadcast, it was a very, very good race.
Yeah, these guys are killing it every week. Such a pleasure to have him here on the channel. Currently looking for the Iowa. There it is. That was won by Brian Macklin. There was 2 cautions for 9 laps. 6 leaders between 7 lead changes. Brian Macklin won the race, like I said. He led 49 laps. But your pole sitter, Tyler Dalton, who led 48 laps, finished 6 laps down, 27.
But you know one thing, it's going to be the second to last race of the season. That intensity with these playoff drivers is going to be through the roof. next week.
You ain't kidding there, pal. As Fuller's starting to pull away from both Macklins again. That battle, though, those line of cars are getting to the 30 of Brian. Wouldn't be surprised if we have a 4 or 5 car truck battle for that third position. It is heating up. Coleman, Gonzalez, and Rivera. I still think Gonzalez right now, out of those 3 trucks, has the best truck. The way he's just able to exit out of these turns is just so much better than everybody else.
He's a former winner here too at Phoenix in the series as well, like we mentioned earlier tonight.
Tommy Ryan has had to jump to pit road.
Tommy's night's gone from bad to worse after that spin.
Here he goes, heading to pit road, and I think he's just gonna pull off and
Yep.
call it a night.
He all F4.
Oh, we're starting to get drivers loose out of 2. You saw Sean Macklin and also Jose Gonzalez all loose out of 2. These trucks are starting to become a handful again, it looks like.
Oh yeah, they are becoming a handful and a half right now. And especially now with the intensity picking up here as we're under 40 laps to go. Do we smell a late race yellow coming? Or no?
Dude, I have no clue. Right now, the way they're racing, I wouldn't be surprised if we go green to the end. But you never know. Somebody could over push the truck and spin out at one of these on one of these turns. We've seen these trucks really start to kick out 30 or 40 laps into a run, and that's right where we are.
Ooh, Chad Coleman had a moment there off of 2.
Chad Coleman in the gym being Ford F-150 all season long. Just look at that, all single file down the back straightaway. But once you get to the turn, that's when everybody starts to run a slightly different line. Watch it coming into turn 1 and 2 here. See if we can get a good view of everybody. Sean goes to the outside. Brian stays to the inside, but look off the exit. They all funnel back into that straight line, and Sean is having some sort of an issue. He is backed all the way up. He's a second and a quarter from Fuller. That 18 truck, while it's very fast at the start, he definitely slows up rather quickly.
Yeah, I think even Brian is now under fire from Donaldson behind him. Those guys are really heating up here for third. Donaldson's all over the bumper here off of 4. He's going to look to the inside, going into 1.
Looking for it. I think he's got it through 1 and 2. And slide right up in front of the 30 on exit of 2.
Yeah, that 30 truck has gone through like a switch, but here he goes. As soon as I've seen he was going through a switch, he's looking to fight back for third.
Gonna have a crossover in 3 and 4. This is where the 91 has to defend. If he does, he's gonna hold on to the spot. Good for the 91. And it was all set up on how he entered turn 1 and got out of turn 2. Made the pass. And good job on him able to defend as Jose Gonzalez is still trying to run the dog leg. I think at this point in the run, it's not as helpful as people are wishing.
Yeah. And we are coming down to 30 laps to go.
Ready? Wow, that's fast.
Yep.
Race hasn't been live for an hour yet, so that's pretty wild. One caution so far tonight. 7 people watching. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Follow if you're on Facebook or Twitch. Glad to have you with us. Who you rooting for? Really excited for Iowa next week. Very excited for Iowa. And when this race concludes, don't go anywhere. We're going to talk to our podium finishing drivers right here as our leader is going to burn it down, and I would assume park it in Victory Lane, which I think this is one of the only racetracks that you can physically drive onto Victory Lane.
I'm pretty sure that is the case as far as I know. Which is a cool feature. I wish iRacing would expand on that for all tracks. That'd be awesome.
I guess Auto Club in a way in Michigan because it's right there in the grass.
Yeah, that's true.
I think here it's actually behind the pit wall.
It is behind the pit wall. Gonzalez is all over the bumper of Coleman here off of turn 2. And now Coleman's all over the bumper of Macklin here. This is for 4th. These boys are heating up back here.
Macklin's falling all the way back to 4th. Coleman is just following in his tire tracks. See if we're going to have anything going into 3. They're going to stay single file. Watch for Gonzalez to cut the dog leg again. Looks like he's been doing it every lap. Really think that transition hurts him more than anything.
Yeah. Seems like his truck is unstable when it goes over the transition bumps.
Oh, he's in the wall. Gonna scrape it out of 2. Not lose any time. Just gotta be very careful with that. Oh, the whole 2 right side tires were off the ground.
I think Byron Daly is back to shifting. I just heard him shift off of turn 2 that time, so we're back to that run where he's starting to shift again.
As we're just getting to 25 to go. Up there in 4th. Gets into 1. There it is. Drops it down the 3rd. And right back up to 4th. I think he shifted a little too early right there.
Trying to keep the RPMs up. And Jeff Ryan had manually disconnect from tonight. Rough night for the Ryan brothers.
That's going to help Dalton out. It's going to help him out very much. Instead of finishing in that 17th position where he was for probably the longest time, 14th is looking a hell of a lot better, 3 positions higher.
Well, Tyler's hoping for a yellow so he can get the free pass. Is what he's hoping for.
That and maybe still repair some of that damage. You never know how much he actually has.
Hey, this battle for 4th is the best thing that we got going right now.
Absolutely. Oh! Gonzalez sent it.
Now, he actually gained a little bit of time right there doing it at that time.
Yeah, last time by, Macklin Macklin with a 35, 51 for Coleman, 51 for Gonzalez, and a 44 for Rivera. So they are all within a ballpark of each other. So 20 to go. Like you said, Mike, this is the best battle we have on the racetrack right now. And it looks like second place might be brewing soon. But there's still about a half a second between the two of them, Macklin and Donaldson.
Now Nelson Rivera has caught Gonzalez, and now Rivera's looking to the inside here. He's got a good run.
But that outside's going to be really strong this far into the run. Still too early for a bump and run? I think.
Oh, well, he got real close to that back bumper right there. Oh, he's got a good run. Oh, maybe a little bit of a contact there. I think that was a little one shot. This is your warning shot.
And right here, so you guys don't miss a thing.
You know what they say, 3 strikes you're out.
Yeah. What's it? Bump once, hey, I'm here. Bump twice, hey, don't block me again. Third time, you're getting spun. Something like that.
Something like that, but sometimes you can say the second bump is like, okay, you need to get out of my way.
And by all that, they have lost a lot of time to Coleman and Brian Macklin. They've brought Byron Daly back in the mix as well.
It seems like Rivera just cannot get to the throttle as quick as Gonzalez can get to. So what I'm seeing with my eyes.
Rivera's just sending it into the turns and has to really check up through center and has to delay getting back on the gas on exit. If he reverses that and is able to...
Oh, he really sent it.
Yeah, going like a butterfly and out like a lion. I think he makes the pass a heck of a lot sooner.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Basically. Sends it in a little too deep. Has to check up for a little bit longer, and there goes the 26 again.
You know, if he can get this pass done, and Byron Daly can get a pass done on Gonzalez, your playoff drivers are going to finish 1 through 8? 1 through 7?
1 through 7.
If they can get the pass done.
As we're still on board with Nelson Rivera, he's trying. Everything in that LaRue Ford is trying to get by the 26 of Gonzalez.
So we are coming to 14 laps to go. Justin Fuller continues to dominate tonight, and nobody's even close to him right now. This is the best we got.
Not even close. Not even close. And just as how good Fuller's been, he has kept Sean Macklin right around that 2.3 to 2.5 seconds for the last 20 laps.
Oh, he's been in his own zip code tonight.
Yeah, and right now I think he's just managing the gap. He's just out for a nice Sunday drive.
The only thing that he does not want to see is a yellow. That's the only thing he does not want to see.
Yeah, the yellow could be a problem. Honestly, the yellow could be a problem for a lot of this top couple drivers. Because you know somebody's going to risk it for the biscuit and stay out, or just take 2. Trying to spread out between Macklin, Coleman, Gonzalez, and Rivera. There's your race leader, Justin Fuller. Just over 12 laps remaining. He's been nothing but dominant.
He's sending a statement here on these first 2 races of this final round to say the championship is up
You're gonna have to
in
take
my
it from
grasp.
me.
Yeah, I was gonna say in his grasp.
And he was good at Iowa. He won Iowa earlier on in the season. So we're also going to another track he's very good at.
Could he possibly win all 4 races in the final round?
Homestead is gonna be weird for a lot of drivers because last week, this week at Phoenix, another short track at Iowa. It's gonna be difficult. Granted, that 51 is always there at the end, so I'll say yes to that. He could, but I think Homestead's kind of like a wild card.
Well, Homestead has proven some pretty good finishes the last couple of races that we've done on the channel.
I'm so excited for that. You have no idea.
And Nelson Rivera, Gonzalez on the wall. Rivera is right back to the back bumper again here, going into 3.
Rivera is there. Has to do something. We are under 10 to go. I know it's one position. And you really don't want to move somebody for 9th or 10th, but
Well, in his case with the playoffs and then being in this final round, every point's going to matter.
yeah, absolutely. And some drivers are even battling for a spot for next season. I mean, Seth Faudy, Jeff Ryan, and Brian Wertman in the field right now are all looking for free entry into next season. All they got to do is beat those couple drivers, and Jeff Ryan, sorry, but Jeff Ryan is out of the race right now.
Good night for...
Not a big trophy, not a flashy certificate or whatever. A free entry into next season, I'll take that. That'll save me some cash.
Yeah, good night for Wertman, though. 13th, solid night. Bet our friend Rob is enjoying that for Brian.
5 to go as everybody's going to cross the start-finish line. Fuller with almost a 3-second lead over Sean Macklin. That 51 has been nothing but dominant tonight. And like I said earlier, he's probably led everything but at most 5 laps. At most.
Brian Macklin got the wall off of 4, but continue.
Oh, that's right now. You don't want to hear that if you're Justin Fuller. You just want to hear white flag, and that's it. Only thing you want to hear at this point.
Oh, these guys are really close together here off of turn 2. Coleman, Gonzalez, and Rivera are super tight together. Justin better get to the white flag as soon as possible if I'm him.
You ain't kidding. We're 3 to go. Dual popsicle sticks up in the air for Justin Fuller.
And if he can make it around one more time, he is going to get the white flag, sponsored by
The Wrestling with Nerds podcast. New episodes every Sunday night on the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook and YouTube channel. And through 3, coming to 4, the 51 has taken the white flag. One and 2 for the final time. Nobody in sight. Tyler Dalton with just about 2 seconds ahead of him. That doesn't matter now. Going back to back in the Sim500 TranService Truck Series, Justin Fuller is going to win race 2 of the round of 8. Followed by Sean Wesley Donaldson, Brian Macklin, Chad Coleman, Jose Rivera, Jose Gonzalez, Nelson Rivera, Byron Daly, Scott Simley, and Steph Faudy rounding out that top 10. Bobby Wetzel, Alan Wild, Tyler Dalton, Brian Workman, Glenn Campbell, Jeff Ryan, and then Tommy Ryan rounding out the rest of your field. There it is, everybody. The 51 of Justin Fuller burning it down on the front stretch.
Absolute masterclass from Justin Fuller tonight.
Absolutely. It was definitely definitely a butt whooping on the field.
See if he's gonna do his thing, go to victory lane. Oh, he's making his way over there.
Mike, as we got that checkered flag, the heavens have opened up and it is pouring.
They were just waiting for you to get done with the race. Is what they were waiting for.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Who was?
That's what the heavens were waiting for.
Oh,
The heavens.
okay.
You said it opened up. So.
Oh, it did. I was like, what is that noise? And then I took off my headset for a second. It's right. Let's see who we got. Let's start with
Well, we got everybody.
the 3 finisher. I'll take him, Mike, if you would be so kind and pull him up here. It's Wesley Donaldson coming home 3rd this evening. +1 position from where you started. What a race. Very much a butt whooping for the field for Justin Fuller. But how did that 91 truck feel out there?
It felt pretty good. I think I lacked a little bit of long run pace compared to especially Fuller. But beyond that, I mean, 91 was really fast. I was fast here the last time we were here too, so I think I ran about top 3 the whole time. Led some laps tonight. I mean, that's about all you can ask for most of the time. Just got to be a little quicker. Gotta do something to keep Fuller from winning these races if I'm gonna win the championship.
You know, I only think a couple people were in the vicinity for a couple laps of that 51. But, dude, coming home 3rd. I know he won the race, but you still help yourself out to keep that 91 and you in the hunt as we go into Iowa next. What are we expecting from that 91 there?
I like Iowa. I haven't driven it yet since the whole new the truck got updated and everything. So, hoping to run about as well as I have been the last few weeks. Feel like keep having this kind of pace, and bound to end up in victory lane at some point. And like I said, got to beat Fuller if you're going to win the championship. So I think I'm going to be about 10 points or so back from him. So maybe a little bit more than that. Got a little bit of ground to make up, and hopefully we can do that next week.
All right, dude. Well, before we let you go and celebrate a podium finish, let's talk about those wonderful sponsors you have on the side of that Chevy Silverado.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to everybody here at Sim500, all the admins, everybody who helps put this stuff on. Thanks to TranService for being the title sponsor and Glenn for coming on and helping with that the last few seasons. Thanks to Go Racing Diecast, got them on the truck as well. Shout out to my team, Sim500 Misfits, Tyler, Bobby, Brian, Glenn, we're all in there tonight. And then last but not least, shout out to my Instagram page, WBD Diecast, where I make custom diecast for current day NASCAR Cup Truck, Xfinity, ARCA, and then can also do iRacing paint schemes for the same as well.
All right, brother. Well, once again, congrats at the podium finish, and hopefully we talk to you next week at Iowa Speedway.
Thanks, guys. See you then.
All right, Mike. You
I will.
are
I
P2.
will take P. Yeah, I will take P2 if you don't mind there, AJ. Let's pop them in here. Sean Macklin, it's Mike and AJ. You got us.
Got you, buddy.
Well, man, it was an impressive showing by you tonight, and also another impressive showing by Justin Fuller in front of you. We saw that you could hang with Fuller in the short run, but talk about your truck overall as it got into the long run, and then just overall tonight.
Yeah, I think the short run was definitely the better option for me. But I think in the first run, I think I could have went a little bit better in the longer run. I think I did for the most part. The second run, I was especially restarting to his outside after the caution. I was trying to just get the position and try to hold it. I knew it was gonna be hard, but I definitely pushed it harder on the second run, trying to get the spot and then stick with him, and just kind of fell off at the end there.
Well, you're going to have a good points night overall to stay in the hunt as we go to Iowa next week. Give me your thoughts, especially after the update with these trucks, on what to expect at Iowa.
I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be fun. I like Iowa. I think we're all really good at that track. I know Fuller's pretty good. Me and Brian are both pretty good there. So definitely excited for it. Definitely trying to follow in Fuller's steps for this very moment, and hopefully I can capitalize on that one of these times.
Well, man, before we let you get out of here to celebrate that podium finish, second place, are there any sponsors you'd like to plug?
Obviously, all you guys at the broadcast, just same as every week. All the admins put on the race for us, and everybody that's helped me out. So yeah.
Well, Sean, congratulations on the second place finish tonight, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to you again next.
Booth, dude, what a butt whooping on the field. That 51 was hooked up tonight.
Yeah, I really love racing this track. I think it's a terrible racetrack personally, but for whatever reason I've taken a liking to it, and I've always run good here at this new version, as much as I hate it. So I knew it was just a good race. Had a circle on the calendar, and just made sure I put a lot of effort in so I could come out here and do what I did tonight.
Yeah. Dude, you were just straight gone for 99% of the race tonight. You had Sean Macklin kind of battle with you for a couple laps here and there, especially after the restart. But what about Phoenix? I know you said you don't like it. You don't like this configuration of it, but what about it suited your driving style so well?
I think it's just the way you got to drive it. I'm not really sure. I just think it's very line sensitive and requires a lot of consistency. And I mean, if you go back and look at my lap times, you'd probably be amazed and just see like how consistent my lap times are and how close they are to each other, lap after lap after lap, especially after the fallout. Obviously, it gets slower as the run goes on, but it's hundreds of a second. So it's just being able to hit your mark lap after lap, consistently do it, and just know what line to run. One and two, the top is just so much faster, but you burn the tires up. And this was honestly a one-stop race, but you burn a lot of fuel running up there. So I tried not running up there, but those guys were kind of forcing my hand a couple times because I really wanted the clean air. But I just other than that, I don't really know why this suits my driving style.
Yeah, all right, dude. Well, we go to Iowa next week for the penultimate race of the season. I know probably one of your favorite tracks. I think we had that conversation last time. But what are we expecting from you there? Are we going to see a three-peat?
Oh, I mean, we'll try. The first two races were the two races I really had circled. Obviously, I think I'm going to be a contender at Iowa, but Brian is super good at Iowa, and Sean's pretty good there too. So I just got to take what the truck give me next week and continue just clicking off points, and hopefully this thing will just come to me.
All right, dude. Well, before we let you go, got any people to thank?
Yeah, thanks to TranService for sponsoring the series. Longtime supporter of Sim500. It's great to see. Thanks to you guys for putting on the broadcast. Thanks to Sim500 and all the admins for what they do. Thanks to Units and Trey Edson for always keeping me looking fresh on the racetrack. All my teammates out at Motorsports. And a special shout out to everybody that showed up tonight and raced. Kind of a rough field, so hopefully we can get some people to show up next week. I don't know what the deal was with that, but it's getting bad. So um, yeah, I just got clicking off these points. I guess we'll see you next week, and hopefully we can continue building on that points lead.
All right, dude. Well, thanks for talking with us, and congratulations once again on the win.
Thanks. Have a good one.
All right, Mike, take her home, pal.
Well, AJ, what a race! What a butt kicking from Justin Fuller. We saw a lot of things tonight, and I think you and I, would say that this race did deliver with some actions. It was pretty good. It was good for a Phoenix race. I know, like Justin said, it's very line sensitive, and it's one of those things where you're gonna race the racetrack. You got to race it as much as you can. But I'm looking forward to getting out to Iowa, especially after the update, and seeing how these trucks are actually going to drive out there. Because Iowa always puts on a really good show. So I'm looking forward to it, and I will see you in the Midwest next week.
Everybody, thank you again for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow if you haven't. Same bat time, same bat place. Next week, we're at Iowa Speedway for the penultimate race of the Sim500 TranService Truck Series. Glad to have you right here on the channel. We will see y'all later. Deuces, ooses.